So the usual thing is that now we start the video and then it goes on, and whenever we stop the conversation, it will be the end of the conversation. I don't want to have too much editing, because people need also the silence to understand the idea.
No problem.
Slow paced. It's
Slow
kind of.
paced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome, Fleur. This is the first episode of Bubbles, and I want to understand what makes people's unique careers. And we are in a park in Hague today. I would love to know about what's your background, what's your favorite color, and so on.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for having me. This now I'm finally on the other side of a podcast / video interview, so that's really nice. So who am I? So, well, my name is Fleur Prince. I'm 26 years old. I am a Dutch native. Can I tell more about myself? So I work as a community manager. Right now I work actually for the police force, so that's actually pretty fun.
Congrats! Yeah.
Thank you.
Super new in April 2025. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I really love it. Though it's my first week, so that's also the fun conversation. Before this, I worked as a community programs manager for the Hague Tech, where I helped them set up TechFest for the first time, which was a real good success. We had 300 tickets sold, and a lot of people show up, which was really cool. It was a 4-day tech festival here in The Hague, which was really cool to see how many people actually are part of the tech community. And before that, I actually worked for an AI company called Kickstart AI, where we set up a community of 7,500 members to connect everyone within the AI ecosystem in the Netherlands.
Usually people, when they have a tech jobs, they are having conventional careers like developer and stuff. I don't hear that often that people have community manager and community things related to tech. That is, how did you get involved with this?
So I can tell a bit about my background. So I started in international communications. That's also what I studied here in the Netherlands. But afterwards, Corona hit. So there was not really a good job in communication departments. So I decided first to join the army.
Yeah, okay.
Which is a very unconventional way of starting out your career after college. But they were very open. They were looking for people in communication and engagement, and I wanted to be a petty officer, so it was a good match.
Yeah, great.
Unfortunately, I did have an accident, so I got out of it, and I actually worked at EY for 1.5 years in the audit department as a pursuit manager. So I was in charge of training engagement teams as a junior, and also make sure that the slide decks were ready when they went to boards to present why EY was the best audit firm. But that was not really my thing. So I actually started getting interest in deepfakes and AI avatars when I saw them coming up on Instagram was the first thing I saw them on.
Okay. How did you feel when you see that? Like,
it kind of creeped me out at the beginning because it looked very realistic, and I already thought, okay, there's so many ways that this could be cool for marketing and communications.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like crime, it could also go the other way, where people impersonate a person to get sensitive information.
Yeah.
But it just drew my personal interest. How could this technology be developed? So I actually started a master in media innovation in Breda that like really went into the AI and how innovation was taking part in the media entertainment industry. But then I was like, okay, I want to know more about AI. Why don't I get a job in tech?
That's a good one.
Good. Thing is, when you when you have a communication background, there's not many jobs in tech, except for marketing. And that was not really the way I wanted to go. So then I ended up at this nonprofit called Kickstart AI that we're actually looking for content specialists. So I thought, close enough.
Yeah.
At least I get to learn on AI and do kind of what I've always been doing. But then they actually were like, oh, we're actually looking for a junior community manager. Are you interested in that instead? And I was like, okay, sure, why not? What's community management?
That's good. So the thing is, like, you were more interested in science communication or development of innovation. Then is this the time also you started the documenting? Because I know you do a lot of production. How that start also, that you don't stop, like when do you sleep? I don't know.
When do I sleep? No, so I was on a personal level, I was very interested in AI and the development, how the creation of ChatGPT started, how it actually works, so how LLMs and quantum computing, how that was actually all involved in the creation of AI. And also the governance part as well, which really intrigued me, because also how do you make laws around technology?
Do we wait if something to happen to be talking about what can go wrong, or do we think about it together? That's interesting.
Exactly, and also because the AI Act was also coming up. But when it comes to really like community management, I got that that was actually was something completely new in the tech world. Because usually it's done by someone on the side from the engineering team to like because usually when you think of community, it's just where the ticket system, where people just say, hey, something's not working, can you guys fix it? That's usually how those communities were being run at the time. But they actually noticed in the tech sector that by actually getting an engaged community, so people who actually talk to each other, network with each other, and know how to find each other, that things within companies were going much quicker because people knew where they had to go themselves instead of having to ask their superiors.
It's more agile people that if they can have decision making. I have a question on this journey. When you look back, was there a moment that yes, I know what I want to do, or is this something that the new opportunities it become visible to you as you go? Like, did you strategize this career path or?
No, I did not, actually. So that's also, I think, where the unconventional part comes in, is that I did not plan out my career. I had a direction of, okay, I want to do something in tech. Let's see what the first job available is that I can find, and that also suits with my personality and who I am, and find a way to combine those factors with each other.
If there is a person who is, for example, studying communication right now, what would be more wise for them to take a path on that, let's say, while studying? Do you have any advice for them?
I would definitely advise them to go to meetups and other network options. You don't have to, because I've also not been part of a student association. Well, we did have a student association for communication. Yeah. But not really a lot was happening in it. So I personally went to like networking opportunities like meetups. Well, they weren't called meetups at the time. They were just like parties and stuff like that. Just to go talk to people, but also go to lectures, web sessions, knowledge sessions where you can meet these different kind of professionals.
I know that you are working on networking tips to people. Is there something that you do usually when you are meeting a person that maybe a conversation starter that usually it works out to understand people?
I just start with, hi, how are you? Or like listen in on what the conversation is about, and then, okay, what's the basic knowledge that I have about this subject, and like intervene into the conversation. And then naturally get to know people if you like, okay, hey, we actually have something in common. Because that's something I would advise people, always make sure to listen in on the conversation first, see what it's about, and then use something that you already like know and start talking about that. Turn the conversation in your advantage.
Is there any, like, let's say, would it be wise to talk about the projects they want to work on or what they are working on? Like, sometimes people meet each other and it stays from there. What is more wise to do with the activation of the further steps?
I would say a good thing is actually to help the other person out, to start creating that bond. Because what a lot of people like is to talk about their own thing, but what you can also listen to is, okay, where is an opportunity in this topic that we're discussing that I can help this person out grow even further in their career or what they want to create. and pass that on. Because then one, you have a personal bond created with them, and also friendships might come out of it, or you can meet that person in the future, maybe for when you need them for like as a potential speaker or someone that you can recommend to someone else who you're also meeting then.
What are you building right now? Do you have something that you started recently?
Yeah, I have my podcast that I started, AI Insights, that I built with a friend of mine, Grain Poppin. We do it together. She does it from Ireland, I do it from here.
That's nice.
Yeah, and it's really cool because we're doing a podcast, but with a Gen Z twist, as we call it.
Okay, what's the twist here?
The twist is that we're two women where one is 21, the other is 26, talking about AI insights, and we're not like tech bros.
Okay,
But,
I see. That's nothing you see here every day. I see.
Exactly. We're
like this video.
Exactly like this video. We're two young women talking about tech because that's not something you see that very often, and also people actually know what they're talking about. And I think that's also the difference between us, though it does often change into like a Kardashian show when we do our recording every week.
Is it going to be published on Spotify? Where do they can find it?
People can find it on Spotify, Amazon Music, and on Apple Podcasts.
Okay, great. We will link them down below for the like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, I was looking for more followers.
I wanted to ask also that AI for good. Maybe we can talk about that it is building. That it would be good to think about. Also, in future that will be happening.
I'm involved in so many things.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of it all, especially in the short amount of time that we do have. So I'm also hub leader for AI for Good here in the Netherlands, specifically the Young AI Leader community, which we organize here in The Hague with the intention to train young AI leaders in soft skills and also networking opportunities and also gaining knowledge on AI compared to the resources that they have now.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why it's called the Young AI Leader Community is because it's for people between 18 and 30. You're also a member.
Yes. It's fun.
Yeah, where we're really connecting young AI leaders with each other to also start building that network too, because then you know how to find each other, and also you know each other's speciality as well. So for example, you're a creative technologist.
What is more exciting for you? Like, you are putting a lot of hours and coordinating a lot of things about this. What is your vision was to start with this community?
So the vision that I have with this community is that these are the next AI leaders of tomorrow. So the people who are going to be in charge of big projects the next 30, 40 years. And who will have a positive influence to make sure that AI is being used as a force for good. So that it has well, maybe not force for good per se, but like a positive social impact.
And is there something that you want to change more than the others? There's a lot of things to change in the world, but if you could solve a problem, that would be in future, let's say 20 years from now on. Like, what future of Fleur wants to build on the? That is my last formal question, and I have fun one.
I would really love to improve equity in the world. So the ability to have the same chances on getting, maybe not per se a degree, but for example, access to technology. So for example, like me, if you have an interest in AI and you've not taken the traditional route of studying IT, that you can still get into it, even if you're a few years later into the game.
Yeah, I see.
And the reason why I say not equality but equity is because I really want to focus on giving everyone the same chances, but also if you are not, for example, like me, I'm from a suburban house, middle class family, but if you're maybe on lower, you're from a poorer area, that you maybe get a bit more help, so maybe more scholarship availability compared to me, because I could afford going to college, that you get that chance too.
I see. That's really important to have,
of course,
diversity in the room. Otherwise, we would have the same innovation, reinventing the wheel. That would be silly.
Exactly, and making sure that that person gets a little bit more help compared to maybe someone like me. that makes the playing field also a bit more, and because I do believe everyone has the ability to create awesome stuff.
Yeah.
But sometimes someone needs a bit of more help to get there.
Yeah, just a little push.
Yeah. You still need to put in the effort and the work.
Yeah.
But that's for anything that you try to study or excel in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get that bit more help.
I see. My last question is about when you were in kindergarten or a child, like around before 10, 6,
Yeah.
whatever you like. What was your answer to the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Did you have some dream career?
I did.
Okay.
As the joke will be, I actually wanted to be a bodyguard when I grew up.
Great. But where would it be? Like someone's bodyguard or somewhere in the museum or something?
I really loved celebrities.
Okay.
But I loved the way their bodyguards were always walking around them. Those are
Badass.
they were always so cool, like looking around them, making sure that the person was safe. But they're the people you don't notice, but at the same time they are their presence and doing their thing, making sure that the person is protected.
Okay.
And that kind of got me intrigued into like, oh my god, I want to be a bodyguard when I grow up.
I've never heard this answer before. Great, very unique. Great, amazing. Thank you for your time and being a guest in the episode, and thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was great talking to you, and also for us too. Let's make something AI amazing with our hub.
Great, pun intended. Bye.
Bye.